It doesn't happen like the last time.
Yeah, that was very
It always
unfortunate.
happens, right?
Yep. Alrighty. Let me go ahead and... No, I don't want to look at YouTube Shorts, please.
Mm.
Alright, and copy. And... Come on.
Here we go.
Alrighty. Okay, everybody, welcome once again. Hello and welcome to the Omega Republic, a radio podcast program for the furry and brony community. I am your host, Coppercap. Also joining me today as my co-host is Fiffic the Bat.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us here on Suiting Up for Life, where we seek out those in the furry fandom and get to know what it's like to be a furry and or brony, and what they do to make who they are a part of the community. Today we have Manicknux joining us from the United States.
Hello. Meow. Thanks for having me on, though, for sure, Copper.
Yeah.
Both of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Before we get started, for every like this video receives, we of the Omega Republic will donate $1 to the charity or program, max at 100 for the next 30 days, that our guest has selected. What is that charity?
I'd like it to go to one that I used to volunteer for, as well as my parents, and that's White Oak Animal Safe Haven. It's near where I grew up. They're a no-kill shelter, and have always been great for the animals that we have had around. And in fact, Shadow is from there.
Oh,
Shadow's
That's
my cat.
lovely. I'm sure they will be thrilled about our $2 donation.
No, they actually feel very happy about anything. They're always happy about it. So
yeah. We have something called Fresh Step Paw Points. We have
I'm
some
not even aware of
crafting
that.
bits and something about a Kitnip box subscription.
Yes.
So, those of the feline persuasion or cat lovers out there, this is something to look into.
Mm-hmm. They do dogs and cats, and they have runs. They do a very good job. They've been doing it for about, I think, 25 years now. Maybe a little shorter than that. Pretty close. So.
Yeah, they've actually got a list of a few of the furry friends available for adoption.
Mm-hmm.
They got a pity mix, a collie mix, and a Kita mix.
Aww. I'm looking at them now too. Oh my goodness, the collie mix is so cute.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. It's like a beagle collie. It's so cute. Della's adorable too. I love. Gus is a mix of I believe boxer and lab, and like some of the pity element comes off there too. The mothering element.
Indeed. Yep. Who wouldn't want to adopt such cute faces?
Love them. They're cute as heck. Those beautiful
Scrolling
kittens
down,
too.
Yep, there are some cats. Carter and Fauna.
There's more below it too. I love Fauna's big frickin' eyes. Oh my goodness.
A year and a half
This
old.
last one's, yeah. This is good. I'm glad to do this. This is nice.
Mm-hmm.
fact that I have Shadow is just interesting because the cats that I've had in the past have all been elderly. I adopted Teddy, my first cat, when he was 12.
Oh wow.
And he lived until he was 18. And the other cat I had was like kind of foisted upon me. So when I believe it was about when Teddy was like 15 or 14, uh, an unfortunate situation happened where a lady had passed away and her cat was left behind. So they were like, "We don't know where to kick this cat. It's 16 years old." I'm like, "I'll see if they get along with Teddy." They brought him over and they're like, "They get along great." I'm like, "No, they do not." Oh, they're gone. Okay, I guess it's. Guess Kyle is mine now. I had Kyle and Teddy.
They have become your boy.
They were for a while, and Kyle was an interesting old man, very whiny, a little bit senile, would yell at walls occasionally, but very sweet.
Huh, that sounds like someone
Teddy
in
was
our
a very
group.
big.
Hint, hint. Arc.
Teddy was a sweetheart. He was a very, very, very snuggly dude. But he was a little bit of an instigator with Kyle. He would always screw with Kyle, and I never realized it until later that it was his fault and not Kyle, because Kyle was ornery usually.
So like ornery, like you get like really mad and growl at
He'd
you.
just get pissy. No, he'd just get pissy. Like, yeah, just whine and and he would literally make noises like and that would be his ornery. Like he would just get pissy, and you would reach out to touch him, you would pet him a little bit, and he'd be like, okay, and then he would just be weird about everything and get a little bit pissy about everything, even though he was fine. He was just pissy. That's all I can say.
Wow. You know, I don't have. I do have a black cat myself, and he.
Aw,
I
what's your
wouldn't
name?
say he gets pissy per se, but he gets very, very clingy whenever his food bowl is empty.
Oh. Well, I mean that's funny. So, yeah, I get that. Shadow does similarly, but Shadow just gets all over your like whenever she wants attention, she'll just come into a room and start yelling. She'll sit there and meow at you and just yell at you and like hi, and jump on the bed. Hi. Hello. Yelling, just constant. She's very sweet though. I'm in the kitchen and she'll be around my leg and she'll be like, I'm like, what? She's looking at me like I did something or I need to give her something. Like, what do you want from me right now? Come on.
Mine would bite my nose at 2 in the morning.
Oh, making sure you're still alive. You're doing sleep things.
No,
Doing check.
It's not about being alive. It's about, hey, you know, I have this thing called a food bowl, and it's
Feel
just
it.
now a bowl.
Yes. That's funny.
Fifik is also a cat owner.
Aw.
No, my parents are.
Oh, he
Close
is,
enough.
He is a cat adjacent owner.
There you go.
I myself don't trust with having my pet. I'm too absent-minded.
That's fair.
Yeah, but you've
They
shared
are a
some
lot of
pictures.
responsibility.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
All right.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. I share the pictures that my mother sends me.
Ah, I gotcha. All right, folks. Again, that is White Oak Animal Safe Haven. I'm going to share it one more time here on the screen for anyone that is curious, want to check it out. Maybe looking for a furry friend. Maybe have a few extra dollars you could throw to our furry friends to keep them comfortable and happy, and you know, just
keep them nice. Keep happy there, because they'll be fine people. They'll find people as long as you give them enough space to be themselves.
Exactly. Share the love. All right.
Hmm.
Again, for every like this video receives, we of the Mega Republic will donate $1 to the White Oak Safe Haven program, max at 100 for the next 30 days. Thank you for watching and choosing the Omega Republic as your place of entertainment. Now, let's get to know our friend with us today. So, the first question that we're going to hit on is, how long have you been part of or interacted with the fandom, and what brought you to where you are today?
Well, interestingly, whew, I couldn't give you a specific year, but I think I had brushes with it in 2000 when I first joined the Sonic community. And I was in there for a while, enjoyed that, and we had a Sonic, of course. Then I got a little bit into the Balto community, but no, eventually I found Cats Don't Dance and I found Furry after about a year or so. And I think I had the first art of Manic ever made in 2001. So, so he's been around since then. And it wasn't until about 2007 that I went to my first con, though. It was AC. I spent some time away with like school and everything like that and other things I had to do. But went there in 2007 and been going since. And many different times I was trying to find ways of interacting with the local community, and as time went on, we started working out in different ways and making events and holding events and keeping them going and keeping a community effectively. Also, I sing.
No, you're good. But let's rewind that just a little bit. The Sonic
Sure.
community?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, my name comes from that.
You've never hinted at anything Sonic related. That is very surprising.
So, my name. So Manic is from Sonic Underground, the weird show that doesn't actually follow any canon of any Sonic or universe, because it really wasn't a Sonic show that they just threw them in.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the brother of Sonic. He's green. He was a drummer in the band that was essentially that show. And Nux was, of course, Knuckles. And I thought it was an interesting portmanteau that no one ever looked into, because it can also be like Super Sonic and Hyper Knuckles and all that other stuff. Manic Knuckles works too. So I just kind of was like, I like that. And eventually the NUX just got lopped off because people started calling me Manic with a K. And I was like, you know what? I like that. Let's stick to that.
Wow. I thought I knew your general history, but no, yeah. I wasn't even close.
I can even show you, if you really want to see my old Sonic Sona, I can pull that up somehow. I can find it. I have it. Give me a second. I'll find it. Go ahead.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Stand by, folks.
It's funny because it's not even just embarrassing. It's very funny because it's actually really well done. Like I was somehow lucky to find an artist that did this really well. But it's funnier because it's here. Let me do this. If I can do this here. I'm gonna switch over just to go ahead.
Podcast Circle, aka Ark, says would explain why he's the bee's knees.
Oh no. Let's see here. Okay, let's try application. Let's see. I shared the screen with you.
All right.
I just have to see it.
I was of the time. I was edgy. I was really young. Forgive me for all of my transgressions in this picture. I can count about 7 of them.
It's fine.
Oh, wow. That is definitely edgy.
Oh my god, yeah. Keep in mind, again, this is right around Matrix.
So we have confirmed Manic is a Sonic fan. Definitely not. Yes, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But it has been confirmed.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, depends on where you are as a Sonic fan, but you're safe. You're safe.
I lost it after Sonic Adventure 2 killed my enthusiasm.
Really? Why?
Yeah. So I love Dreamcast. Dreamcast is my favorite system. But when it came out, I actually pre-ordered it and I got the 25th anniversary set and everything. And the game took away a couple things that I thought were really important in the original one. And also, it was so glitchy, it was nearly unplayable. And
Oh.
and in addition to that, I'm one of the very few Sonic fans who doesn't like the Chow. I think the Chow were just a cheap way for them to be like, look, we gave you an extra game. Don't look at all the broken crap that we had in the rest of the game. Also, we didn't finish the rest of the game. Here's your collectible thing. And I was like, I don't like this. But yeah. I know some other games have come out that are better, and actually I do like some of the newer games, especially like on the older Sonic Advance games and whatnot after that point.
Yeah.
But other than like mainline ones, not hugely until fairly recently. I need to get back into them, to be honest with you.
So not like the one Sonic game where he turns into like a werehog or whatever it is.
You know, I have heard mixed thoughts on that one. That's Sonic Unleashed. I've heard a lot of friends I have who love it, and other friends who do not. So it's a mixed bag as far as I could tell.
I remember watching streams on this game when I had a fever of 38 Celsius degrees. That sure was an
Oh,
experience.
jeez. Oh, my God.
Well, that
No,
must have
it
been a
sure
trip and a
was.
half.
Delirious with a fever.
Uh-huh.
Delirious with a fever, and while watching that, that's a thing.
It's very was hard to tell what was the game and what was the product of my imagination.
Sounds about right.
Say, Cooper, will you show this on stream? Are we allowed to show it on stream?
Show.
There you go.
I guess that's a no.
Wait, no, what? No?
Share
Yeah,
what?
go ahead, share it. Oh, yeah. If you want to share this on the screen, go ahead. You can do that. I don't care.
Oh, the Sonic one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's...
I mean, otherwise we will just leave people that are only wondering what was that about.
Yeah.
Well,
No, please put it up there. Go ahead.
I had it up there earlier.
Oh, okay, you did. Okay, making sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, give it a second. Give it a second. It'll show up. You got to figure for latency. It's there.
No, there it is.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. There we go. Now
All
we
right.
can get back to our regularly scheduled program.
All right, I'll pull that off. Thank you.
No, thank you. We appreciate that. Gives us more insight into your Sonic nerd.
Yeah, no, I was, and it's still something I care about.
No,
As much as cursorily in comparison.
I will say the live action movies have kind of rekindled my interest in Sonic.
Same. And frankly, I haven't. I know. I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the second or third one. However, I really appreciate it just from a sheer standpoint because I'm also a big fan of Jim Carrey. So it's a big. It was like a good mix. I love that.
Yeah, it's also so fascinating that that was the movie that brought him back into acting.
Right? And I was like, okay, I'll take it. I like this. Let's go.
I mean, it brings out the whole the personality that you saw with like Ace Ventura.
The thing is, though, it's interesting. If you go and listen to him, his real big, like, speech, like, when he puts a speech on, his real takeaway has been how much he now understands that it was putting on characters to mask himself. And so one of the reasons he stepped away from acting for a while was to just be himself. Mm-hmm. And it's an interesting thing because he's going back to that to show a character because I think he understands himself a lot more. And it's good for him.
He did some soul searching, in other words.
Yeah.
And I can't really imagine anyone else taking on this role.
Nope.
No.
For this performance.
Well, we've had so many different
I can't either.
versions. I mean, what they did with Eggman in like shows like Sonic Boom was a bit. They could have gone in so much more detail, but Sonic Boom is it is a kid. It's meant to be a kid's show.
Sonic Boom, the one that has the in jokes, the jokes making fun of itself constantly.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I think that one's clever, and I think it deserves more credit than it actually gets. Because it constantly is making fun of itself, like in the world in which it lives. And I have to give it a lot of credit on that.
Indeed, it is a very funny show.
Yeah. And I mean, I stepped away from a lot of Sonic stuff even before whenever Sonic X came out. I should have been into that, but I never really was.
Sonic X
I was
was
a
my
s-
first exposure to Sonic franchise. Well, it was the only
Nice.
one that was shown on RTV back then.
It's not bad. It's a pretty decent thing. My favorite was
Okay.
Sonic Saturday Morning Cartoon, the story back in the early 90s.
Oh, absolutely. The kind
Yeah,
of dark. Yeah,
mm,
it was good.
I had one of my first. I shouldn't announce this, but my first furry, I guess the first crush really was Sally.
No, you're. That's pretty
Understandably so.
legitimate.
Yeah.
It would either have been, Sally or Bunny Rabbit. One of those two.
Oh, I love Bunny. No, Bunny's the best friend. Bunny's amazing.
Mm-hmm. And granted, a lot of it is not only character design, but the voice actors as well.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They were really good. And like, it's funny though when you think about it, because you also just think of Sonic as and Jaleel White as Sonic, and it's like, Urkel, what are you doing?
Right?
What you doing? Did I do that? Yeah, that's Sonic for sure. It does sound like it when you think about it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So when I told you Sonic Underground, the funnier part about it is that Jaleel White, they didn't have the budget to pay for different voice actors, even though it's two brothers and a sister. Jaleel White did all three voices. And
Really?
Wow.
it sounds as bad as you'd think it would for Sonya. Yes.
That's
It sounds
Huh.
as if Urkel has a more nasal, higher pitched voice. It's very weird.
I
If
don't
they-
need to check it out. I never saw it in the original dub.
Yeah,
Granted,
no, check it out in the English dub.
oh boy. Yeah. If they
The whole
had
thing was
just
so weird.
Oh, sorry,
It's
go ahead.
very
Cedric.
weird.
Yeah, just the whole series is just so weird how it's not canon in any way, and that they just
No.
gave Sonic a brother and a sister and they band for whatever reason. Those amulets that turn into instrument, like, what is this whole thing?
So the thought was, I think the reason it's like that is because so what happened is I think a show got greenlit, but they didn't have any IP to tie it to, and they didn't think it was strong enough to develop its own. So they wanted to tie an IP to it. So like Sonic, and they just threw it in there, even though it has nothing to do with anything. I mean, I kind of get where they're coming from. Use an IP to draw people to a story, but it didn't make any sense in any way.
It
They-
sure didn't, but that explains so much about why
Yeah.
the show is the way it is.
It does.
I honestly
Imagine
believe that
if
if it hadn't been for the difficulty of being able to catch the time slot for Sonic Sat at M when it was first being aired,
Yeah.
it would have been more successful, and they could have actually, continued the story that they had, which was a good story, rather than
Yeah, it was. You're right. It was a little bit out of place, and like AOS, the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog actually had better luck, even though that was more of a kids show.
Mhm.
It mirrored the game more. It was far more mirroring of the game. I will say that in that show, it's okay to say. So we have the
Come
dude
on.
Snively. Do you remember Snively?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, the toady that worked
henchman?
under Eggman
Yeah.
with the long nose.
I hope it's okay to say this, but Stephen Miller looks like him.
I
They look
never really
like the
thought about
same
that before.
person. Like the first time I saw him, I'm like, "You're fucking Snively." Oh my gosh! And my brain just went exploded. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. It just makes you wonder, it kind of breaks away a little bit about what you're on. It's just, who would have the red eyes been attached to there at the end? Would that have been Metal Sonic? Would that have been a formation of Knuckles? What would it have been, you think?
I don't think it would have been anything of the sort. So they continued the story in the comics, actually.
Oh, they did.
Yes, so Archie comics, that's one of the reasons I love the Archie comics. They were all a continuation of the AOS, the Sad AM storyline, effectively. And if you follow it all the way until its demise to the new, I forget who's doing it now, to be honest with you. I forget who the maker of the comic is. But until Archie relinquished it, that was all like a whole story that was connected. And it's very dark, like genuinely dark. And I would like to go back and read some more, but so much of my Sonic memorabilia got destroyed by water, and I have them in boxes just like dry now, but I haven't looked through it, and like it's been like it was so moldy for a while, like it's gone. But I got to go through it. But it was just one of those things where it did keep going, and that says a lot for Archie, considering all Archie did other than that was Jughead and Archie comics, pretty much.
Ah. Oh, I mean, don't spoil it, but did they reveal the character behind those eyes that was tagged at the end of
I want to say yes, my brain can't remember, so I don't want to say for sure.
Right.
Hmm.
So for those of you watching, Sonic fans that weren't aware of this, you have a series to look forward to now.
It's a long, long, long time too. So we're talking, you're talking the late '90s until about, say, 10 years ago at the very least. I think, maybe about that, maybe a little shorter or around that. So it's quite a long series that it ran.
But
and they tried their best, which I have. Yeah, what?
No, go ahead. You're good.
Oh no, they tried. I didn't keep up with it as much as I should, so I don't want to be the definitive source. But I know that one of the things they tried doing was making sure that they tried integrating the worlds, like the Sonic Saturday Morning cartoon world, as well as the game world, and also some other elements whenever it would make sense to try to integrate them to make things better and a more unified of a world. So they would try to unify things, and then Sega would just go off on their happy little way and do things like Silver the Hedgehog and the heck, Sonic 06. But no, I can't fault them for a lot of them though. Like Sonic Colors was clever. It was basically if you took Sonic Knuckles Chaotix and tried making it a newer game, and I give it a lot of credit for that. I just think a lot of times Sega doesn't know what they're trying to do with their characters, and they get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ark actually said, I just now he mentioned this a while back. I'm just now getting to it. Actually, didn't mind the Chow thing, especially when they were introduced on the Sega Dreamcast. Reminded me of the equivalent of the Tamagotchi.
You're actually in the majority, and I respect that. I don't know why I got so upset about it, but I think it was specifically because it felt like they were done as well, I'm done with the real game. Let's go have fun. And it's like you didn't finish the real game, and this feels like a consolation prize. That's kind of where it felt like to me. From a perspective of fun, no, I get it. But I also didn't find Chow cute, so that's also a downside for me.
Yeah. I mean, they did make fun of there was another part of that where they, started introducing way too many characters.
Yeah, no, that was another thing too. So as I said, Silver, you had a bunch of other characters. Now, admittedly, they even did that early. They did that in the mid '90s with the 32X and Chaotix. Like you don't see Mighty around anymore. You don't see Vector very often. You don't see Charmy very often. You don't see Espio. And that was a very clever game that got lost because of the 32X. Because Sega was Sega.
Yeah. I mean, granted, you could still have access to some of the games through the Nintendo library and whatnot.
Yes. Yes, but if you ever get the chance to play Chaotix, play it, because if you play Colors, you might very well enjoy Chaotix a lot, because it is very similar. It's a connected, like, you control two players at times by connected rings, and you can have a two-player thing to help each other. So, like, in cooperative gaming, it works really well.
Right. Now that we've spent the past 20 minutes talking about Sonic, let's.
Sonic.
I mean, it is Sonic after all. But we'll go ahead and transition back into the interview a little bit. Fiffic,
Sure.
would you like to ask the next question? Which is the second
No.
question. I'll do it if you want me to.
All right, we have the. Excuse me. What was the second
I
question?
actually really appreciate. I'm sorry. I love the no. I love. Thank you for that.
Is this question worded correctly, Copper?
You can paraphrase a little bit if you need to. Again, you could take the alternate question right below it if you want to.
Oh, yeah, that's much easier. So, tell us, do you have any hobbies that are adjusted to the furry fandom?
Like things that are attached to it, like are attached to it. Yeah, I mean, the best way to describe it is, if I can associate an element of my furry self in the world in which I live, in a general sense, I try to do that. So I do a lot of things that involve my community element, or involving myself in the community, the furry community. So, for example, with my singing, I'm mostly, my audience is mostly furry, and that's just because of how I've done it and how I've done it, and what I'm intending to do for now. For most of what I do on streaming, it's mostly furry, and most of my friends, I tend to be there too. So I tend to be mostly in this world. Not to say that I don't have friends from high school, not that I have old friends and family, but a lot of times this is the world in which I live, because it means a lot to me. Hobbies okay overall, though. I mean, auto. I love cars. I have a number of vehicles. I have a problem. I love board games and Magic and whatnot. I like a lot of different anime elements. I like the idea of I love fursuiting, and I love different games associated with different things. I like the photography. I love esoteria. It's just esoteric things, and like music and everything. I just like. I think finding. I can't even talk. I find things interesting. I don't know. Usually can find something fascinating about something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course, we do have several pictures in the slideshow that do involve you around Oldsmobiles.
Oh. Oldsmobiles. I have a friend of mine who has an Oldsmobile. I have never owned an Oldsmobile, though.
Oh, not Oldsmobile.
That's a good one.
The, what do you call them? It's the little black car that doesn't have a roof on it. With the
Oh, my Model T?
Yes, Model T. Stagnabbit.
What's really funny is that you think it's small, and then you realize it's not. It's like it's basically a carriage with a motor on it.
Mm-hmm.
A carriage with a tractor motor on it. But there's that, and then I have my Morgan, which I don't know if you've seen, have a picture of that. Hey guys. But I also have my Yugo that I took on the Lemons Rally. Gus, can you go lay down, buddy? Hey bud, I love you too. My buddy just came up to my leg.
He demands food and attention.
He demands attention. That's what he demands. I have my so the Model T was a thing between my dad and I, and it was because a friend of mine's dad passed away. And the other one, I have a Miata too. That was my dad's because he had a TR6 when he was younger. And I have a couple other things that I have too many cars.
You could open up your own museum.
You know, it's funny. No, I no, they're all over the damn place. It doesn't have any way to cohesion.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe one day when you get to be a bit of more of a gray fur, you'll think that, you know what, it's time to show them off.
I like showing them off regardless. I like taking people rides in the Morgan and the T, especially. Those are fun.
Mm-hmm.
The Morgan always kind of throws people off because it doesn't make any sense, and people don't think they can fit in it, and they can fit in it. But it's very, very, very tight, very small.
But I mean, the Model T you don't have any issues with in suit, I'm assuming.
No, not at all. The Morgan, you basically have to step over the side and kind of shoehorn your way in. It's like getting into a kayak.
Oh, do you have a picture
Not even.
of it?
Yeah. Hold on.
Also, Ark says a furry and a gearhead. Sus.
I know. Here
He
we
also
go.
says we all know all furries are software nerds and not hardware.
So it's funny. I work in IS and T, so IS and in IT, but I prefer working on things physical. I'm a hardware nerd overall, but let's see here. I'll share this right here.
Also, prefer.
Yeah. Ha! Good. I didn't even. Good. Here we go.
All right.
This thing.
Let me go ahead and pull this up on stream.
3 pictures, so.
Oh yeah, I've seen these things on Top Gear. Okay.
Yeah, this is the main. This is it. So, interior.
All right, let me see if I can get a better shot of that on the stream here.
Hmm.
Let me adjust this just a little bit. As soon as I find the layer I've got it on. There it is.
Morgan's. I like Morgan's a lot. I like Morgan the company a lot, and I believe they're the only. I believe they're the last remaining British car manufacturer owned by Brits, and it's still family owned, and everything is hand built. These are interesting because that engine on the front there. So back in the early part of the 1900s, when they came out in 1909, this was effectively the type of car that they sold. It was a 3-wheeler because it got around a lot of restrictions, and they basically had this setup, and it was taken around. It was used a lot. Eventually, they made 4-wheelers, and there have been 4-wheelers since. And one of my favorite stories about Morgan surviving the oil crisis, which killed a lot of auto manufacturers, is that when they were trying, because they were never a heavy auto, like a manufacturer, they were able to pivot. And during the oil crisis and the emission standards needs, whenever things were just difficult to deal with for companies in America, when they were trying to get things imported, what they did is they swapped over to propane. And for about 15 years, they had a propane propulsion because the car itself was not about the engine. The car itself was about the experience that the car was giving, and they knew people cared about it that way and didn't care about the fuel. And so it really helped them survive that difficult time. And then when they got to 2000s, the internet came around and allowed them to become a boutique maker. And so it's crazy that they're still family owned. They have every single a family member generally, I think, touches every single one. They're still in the same factory that they originally were in, and they're still made out of tube steel, ash, I think it is, and aluminum.
Wow.
Yeah, and like so, this one's interesting because that engine on the front there is a derivation of the Harley Davidson Screaming Eagle. It's a derivation because it's 2 liters. It's each of those cylinders is a liter.
Wow.
So it is a noise. It sounds really, really throaty and good. But I love how Spartan it is, and I love the experience that it has. And then it's a great fun vehicle. It really is.
Yeah, I don't see you getting in there in suit.
I have.
I
just don't put feet on
okay. Let's say that makes a lot more
I
sense.
mean,
because I couldn't I couldn't make them work in there. It was too difficult.
who needs to push on the brakes anyway?
Right? Also, people see my feet. I could put the regular feet shoes in there, and I can have everything good to go.
No, but that's
Only I know that my feet are not on. Huh?
But that's
No magic lost. No, because nobody else notices.
People can sense it.
People can sense my feet are not right. Pretty true.
Ark says, reminds me a bit of a dune buggy without the roll cage.
In a lot of ways, I laugh about this because if you look at it, there's kind of a bit of a roll cage. It's not a hell of a roll cage. It's not a strong one, but it's there to protect you. However, if anybody's honest, this is even more dangerous than a motorcycle. It's a rolling coffin because you can't get thrown from the problem. No, you just get crushed by the problem. So you could make the argument that this is a more unsafe than a regular motorcycle. But I mean, also you're more stable, so maybe not. Like it is a totally different feel. So the interesting part, if you take a look here, the way this was done, when I got it, it actually had these headlights. These headlights are not an original factory. Whoever had this tried making it as old as looking possible. They could. Because those headlights are from the 70s and they're definitely Lucas Electric headlight, like glass. And like Lucas Electric died in the 80s. Early 90s, I think it was. And there's like no way that would be the case. And for example, in the interior, as I said, like that's all specialized in this case to look older than it is. Like the regular interior is actually a little more like utilitarian. This is like fancy. But the interesting too is those tires are actually, those wheels are effectively the same thing. The same tires you have on that right there are the same tires you would put on a like 60s and 70s cruiser bike, European motorcycle. So, and the back wheel is in the auto wheel.
In like World War I films.
2, if anything, a little later than that. Probably later than that even.
Okay.
So yeah, think like motorcycles that were just getting into the 60s, probably 60s, 60s, early 70s. But the rest is pretty straightforward. It's the transmission's from a Mazda Miata, the other one I even have. And the drivetrain's pretty straightforward, except for a weird thing they have in between to make sure that the torque doesn't destroy the fact that it's a belt-driven rear wheel. So it goes from a drive shaft to a belt drive, but it has to prevent over-torquing that belt drive. So it has like an intermediary thing that is like a planetary gear set that when it spins, it actually creates a bit of it has rubber rollers so that it arrests the torque and then transfers the actual the energy to the drivetrain. It's very weird, but it just protects it. It's very strange. Yeah, it's a very interesting feeling.
So instead of being metal on metal, it's metal on rubber on metal. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. So for any of you gearheads out there, you probably You could probably make way more sense of this than I can. I know a
Like,
little bit
yeah,
about.
so
I know the basics of mechanics. I'm just not a
Yeah.
huge. I just don't know a lot.
That's fair. That's totally fair. It's entirely fair, in fact. So I get it. It's a very weird system, but it's very straightforward. You just because you can get to everything. Now, I'm taking it in for service though, because I have a stupid issue that actually is one of the more difficult things to do. So go figure.
Fair enough.
You know, on the topic of it being less safe than a bike, at least when you feel like the time is right, you have quite a magnificent way to go.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, that's putting it in perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll
No, but
definitely
it's-
sell up on the funeral.
Oh yeah. I mean, you use the coffin. It's a double duty.
No, I mean, for anyone else out there that is a little knowledgeable on vehicles and furries, there is one other that comes to mind that has a few. I'm not going to say classic, but maybe retro cars, I guess I should say, is Cooper Tom.
And then he has a lot. He has a bus. He has a DeLorean. He has a goodness, I forget what he has. He's gotten rid of a few. He had a TR7 for a while, Triumph. He had a Bug for a while, and then another good guy, good friends with him is King Gord. That he drives a Saab, an old classic Saab, constantly. Like he had driven that for whatever. Skuro drives an old Scion. It's XB. It's very funny. But he used to, anyways. I don't think he does anymore. But the other person that has a lot of interesting cars is Jay the Griffin. He has a Japanese ambulance right now. He has a Japanese fire truck, and he has a Honda Beat. And I think he just bought one of the cars that I really want, actually, and I want a Fiat Multipla. So it's one of those weird things. Sorry, I'm going off on rambling tangents.
No, you're good. You're good. For any vehicle buffs out there, they're probably loving this.
Fair point. Oops.
Though I must ask, between yourself and Cooper, who do you think is the bigger gearhead?
I don't know how you're going to rate that. To be honest with you, I would give Cooper one thing more than I have. He is far better at doing the full-on restoration that is necessary. I am not as... He knows how to do body work far better than I do. I can do the mechanics all day long. Body work, though, I'm not particularly fond of, but he can do it. And he can do paint. And he's very good at it. He's great at mechanicals, too. And so I have to give him a lot of that. But I wouldn't say either one of us are bigger gearheads overall. I think we both have a different perspective, but I think he's just as interested as I do in many cases.
If you both
He's a
were
good friend.
working on a Model T, who do you think would be able to work on theirs faster?
Me, no question. If I was working on a VW, an air-cooled VW, Cooper Tom, no question.
Fair enough. Ark says, "Oh right, recall of Jay. He modified that ambulance."
I believe he did. Yes, he's done a lot of things with his vehicles, and I love it. He also has the Honda, the city, the little thing, the suitcase that you could put on, it has wheels, motorcycle suitcase, the little electric motorcycle.
Wow.
It's adorable. Let me see here. Can't type. The Motor Compact, though. Holy shit, I can't type. I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're good.
This thing. It's really cool because it's literally this.
What the?
It's a suitcase. It literally, you can you shove the seat back in, shove the thing down, you carry it around like a suitcase.
That's like the things that you would like see on like Looney Tunes back in the day.
Right? Look at it. Look, it goes away. Look at that. You can roll it around too if you want. But it's very, very. It's really cool. I've ridden his. It's really cool. I enjoyed the thing. It's a lot of fun. It's meant to be representative of the old let me see here if I can find the Moto Compacto on Moto. I think it's Moto Compacto. Oh, that's the current one. It says it right here. Moto Compo. That's right. So it's meant to be in reference to this little thing, which the Moto Compo is this guy. And what these used to be is they used to be shoved in the back of a Honda Civic. And you get to a place you need to go, you just take this thing out right around. That was the whole plot. Yeah.
Kind of like a
They're really tiny.
Like the modern day e-scooters, or I guess I should say something of that nature.
Yeah. Very similar to that, yeah. So they're fun little things that go in the trunk. They're meant to go in the truck and have you get a little like last mile type stuff. So
nice. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get this back on screen. And there we go. All right. Moving on down the line. I mean, question 3 is kind of a given, but I mean, it does ask if you are a suitor. I'm pretty sure if anybody was paying attention to the top right of the screen where I've got the slideshow going, you might be a fursuiter. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say I am.
I mean, of course,
Fascinating.
the next part of it is, who made your suit? How long did it take? And is there any ideas you have to improve your suit later on down the line?
So the Manic version 1 is the one that I love very dearly. It's a resin mask suit, and he was effectively made back in 2014, and by a maker by the name of Soap Dish. Now, Soap Dish unfortunately is no longer around. Now, I don't know where they are. They ended up not. They kind of disappeared a couple years later, and I don't know what happened specifically, but I wish them the best because I love this suit. It means a lot to me. My second version was by. She goes by various names, and my brain is forgetting now. My God. She goes by Ozzy, and or Poodle Carpets online. I can't remember the name. She has too many names.
Take your time.
But if you look at Poodle Carpets online, you'll find her stuff. It'll probably come to me here. But one of the reasons I really started going to her. She's local here, but also I genuinely think that her bodysuits are some of the best I've ever run into. Like, just they fit in a way that fits you accurately, tightly, and snugly, but not overdoing it in a way where it looks tight. It just looks like it fits, and it looks cartoonish enough. Just works really well. And I got a whole new Manic version 2 from her, and it's a foam head versus my old one's a resin head. So I have those two. So Manic 1 and Manic 2. And then I have in the picture even behind me, if you're showing that, I don't know why this room has nothing on the walls. I don't know why I have this picture. I want to pull up a different picture for you. But the back area, you'll see old Manic version 1, Manic, I should say. You'll see also Victor. Victor is a Jack Russell Terrier from at the time J Costumes now. And he was I wanted to work with Jay, and I gave them a carte blanche and said, give me I artistic liberty for a Jack Russell Terrier because I wanted a Jack Russell Terrier suit. And this is what I came. His name's Victor because I love RCA Victor's logo of his master's voice with the dog Nipper. And so he is named Victor in honor of Nipper and Victor, RCA Victor. And he, in my headcanon, basically looks to Nipper as like an ancestor, and he wears that Victrola key around his neck at all times. But other suits, the only other one I have is a rubber chicken. Oh, let me see if I can find a picture for you guys. I'm not even joking.
What now?
Because I'm surprised I have this picture here. I'm surprised I have like this picture up here. Because this is not the right picture. Where are you?
And yes, folks, you heard that right.
Rubber chicken. And that is because... There we go. That's a better picture. I'm going to put this into this. Change the background here. One second. Let me do this.
Ark asks,
Okay.
why does the chicken
There we go.
need rubber?
Good question. So you can see there, it's a different picture of the same room a little later. There's Manic version 1 and version 2, and then there's the Victor and the rubber chicken. The rubber chicken has wings, the head, and an ass.
Of course, the most important parts.
It's just a funny, like, chicken ass. It has a tail and 2 cheeks. And it's very funny, and I love it because it was made by a Brazilian maker, Cuchahuo, or Chucahuo, or Cuchachuyo, I think it is. I gotta find it. Let me see if I can find that if I can. They make really interesting characters and interesting versions of things. They did a spider once, and they did these. There are, I think, 5 of these rubber chickens throughout the world, and I know for a fact that one of them showed up at a UK con, and just sat in the back during the dance comp, and the camera caught it, and it was like in a spotlight for some reason, and the camera just filmed this rubber chicken standing ominously in the back of the freaking room, and it was very weird.
Okay. Oh my. Oh. Well. There you have it, folks. The cat is not truly all cat.
No. That's the funny thing. So it's a very strange way that I have to approach wearing Victor. The rubber chicken is just a funny thing to do. Victor, I wear in a way that he is Manic Sona. I'm not even joking.
Oh.
It's because I couldn't figure out a character for Victor. And then I realized it was too similar, and I realized at the same time, of course Manic would play a dog, because he would enjoy doing that. It helps me channel, like, because Manic is effectively me in many ways. It helps me take that energy and channel it in the way that I need to. It's very strange, but it works for me.
I mean, it's similar to, like, actors, how they'll try to find the character, or not just even actors, but voice actors as well. Trying to find the character or the voice behind the character. How they'll just kind of, look at the image, look at different images, and just kind of strip apart, what would they be? How would they sound? What would they do?
Why would they be this way in this given circumstance? Yes.
Exactly. It's similar to building a D&D character, correct, Fiffic?
In a sense.
I ask Fifth because he is our reigning DM or GM, if you'll call him that way. He runs our D&D section.
I think either way is fine because I think dungeon master or game master either way. But no, that's awesome because like having a good DM is hugely important.
He's an excellent DM or GM.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Because I have never gotten through a full D&D campaign, but I have played. I love D&D. I really do. We've never gotten through any of them though fully. But my one of my favorite times though was playing a different role-playing game called Dungeon Crawler Classics. And this one was funny to me because the entire premise of it was hilarious because you basically walked into this game expecting to die. Like on the first playthrough. And yet in the beginning of the whole situation, like you go through this book and you have a scenario and then you like follow it. They're meant to be played in like stints of 3 to 4 hours. And each person who's there has to make like a handful of characters and go through the process for each of them, okay? And then you go into the dungeon, and then you're likely to die very quickly. And it's frustrating as all heck, but it makes for a very fast and like, oh, it's done. Okay, I can't do more about it. It's a very one and done type of thing.
It's pretty much, it's kind of like D&D, but a speed run. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very,
I
it's
mean,
almost like, in its demeanor, it's almost Lovecraftian because it just kind of attacks you out of nowhere. But yeah,
I mean, Copper, it depends on who game masters the whole thing. It could just be like D&D. It all depends on
yeah,
the,
no,
type of game you play.
it does, the weird thing about the Dungeon Crawler Classics is they force you into making plays that are against the player. Like the DM has to follow certain guidelines. It's not as free as a D&D campaign. It's really meant to be followed a little bit, like guided along with the book. Like you're supposed to be able to. You have to make these decisions. There's certain like impetus versus like the standard. Like in many cases, like a D&D tries to not be interfering with you, but it kind of forces you down this path in a lot of ways. It's very funny. And they're an older thing. I think they were done in like the what year did D&D come out? I forget.
Don't ask me.
I think it was late 70s. I think Dungeon Crawler Classics were around the same time.
Yeah, my knowledge of D&D's history is very limited.
I'm not the best either, so forgive me. I'm just yammering on, as I said.
The worst reference is the Dungeons and Dragons movie released back in the 70s that was supposed to be...
Yeah.
You assumed it was like a fun fantasy movie. Nope. It was the complete opposite.
It sure was a
Oh my
movie.
god.
The much more recent D&D movie is much more reflective of how D&D is. Modern D&D.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a shame it didn't get attention it deserves. Because it is a really good movie.
Not the 70s version.
No. The more modern. It was like few years ago.
Ah, yeah. So yeah, for those of you curious, don't bother wasting your time with the 70s version.
Or do, it's a nice piece of history is what it is.
Also, Ark says, Manic is just chaotic in nature, like a cat is. And he also says, rules are more of guidelines than to be followed.
I agree. I mean, I really do overall. It's just, but like, it's fun sometimes to follow them to what they're intended because it's just like, what the heck.
Exactly.
Also, speaking of finishing the indie campaigns. We are actually finishing Finn's Sprint very soon. There's about 2 sessions left. That's for people who are watching it, that is.
Oh boy. It's what episode is it? I mean, how many episodes do you have so far?
That's a good question. Give me just
I thought you
moment.
actually knew offhand. I thought you were actually going to say like
I have only so much
Yeah.
memory allocated to the indie at this time. The last one was episode 29, so we are about to finish at 31, maybe 32, depending on how things will go.
Well, there you go. And you started about this time last year.
Give or take, yes.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. Of course, it
It's always
wouldn't
an
make it this long without me, but you know.
You were saying, Manic?
No, that's not. I was just saying it's always impressive when you like it's a dedication is an appropriate like thing to. It's impressive and it should be.
Yeah.
I just think it should be commended. Yep.
Thank you.
Oh,
I
that's
have
a lot
experience of running long campaigns. I did actually finish quite a handful of them. Well, for different people, but still.
Wow. No, that's always wonderful because like that's a lot of effort and a lot of dedication. So that means that's a lot of care put into something. So
I mean, the most important thing about it is to not stretch it out for too long, because you get tired of the game, players get tired of the game, and when everybody's tired of it, it's time to wrap up. Well,
yes,
when you realize everyone is tired, it means time to wrap it up was 5 sessions ago.
yes.
Well, I mean,
Move it along.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Ark does say, so we know how Manic came to be an aristo cat, but why the orange tabby look?
Actually, that's a really interesting one. So after Sonic became Balta, then Cats Don't Dance was my focus, and what you see me wearing right here is a good nod to that. In fact, I really identified with Danny in a lot of ways, and I still do today. The main character of Cats Don't Dance. I'm a performer at heart. I'm finally trying to get back into doing more performances and whatnot, especially with music. And he was always in my head a good inspiration for how I wanted to perceive myself. And so I also realized that Cat, I love dogs. I grew up with dogs. That's the funny thing about it. Dogs, I love dogs. I love Gus. Gus is such a sweetheart. And I love cats. But the thing is, I never grew up with a cat. But their demeanor and their portrayal was always of it felt right to me. I just felt like a cat. But the other part of it too was I grew up loving Garfield, Heathcliff, and other orange cats, just you had an interesting and then you had, of course, Hobbs being an orange tiger, everything like that. Something about an orange cat always felt approachable. It felt, and Danny was an orange cat too. It's it felt right. And I've always thought being a tabby was really the right way, because I mean, tabbies and general American short hairs, or I'm kind of American short hair, but I'm kind of American long hair, depending on the suit I'm wearing, apparently. They're generally very, very affectionate cats. Still cats, but still affectionate cats. And I just always loved the ubiquitous nature of them. I love how vibrant they were and how bright they were. And then always the jokes about orange cats having one brain cell was always funny, because I consider myself pretty smart, but I'm also an idiot at times, and I'm fine with that.
say you can be dumb without actually being stupid.
Oh yeah, no. I learn every day, and I get better at it. But no, I allow myself that I will make stupid mistakes. So I try to give myself that grace.
Who is it? Oh yes, I believe it's Renus Delph. He is the one that is notorious for holding his cat upside down in his hands while talking about his orange cat's looking for the one brain cell.
Okay, what? I can't say I know this person.
Uh-huh. 1 second. Let me get it, and I will share it on... Let's see. 1 second here. I've got it. I just gotta figure out where I'm gonna share it at. Where is the... there's the chat. And... boop. Yeah, he is... he knows how to describe his orange cats and how they're adorable, they're sweet, but dumb.
Yeah. They're very like it's an endearing, almost overzealousness. They're stepping over themselves to in the process of trying to do right, and they're stupid about it. And they're very, as I said, they're very affectionate. So I think it's part of the reason.
Yep. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised that if after you watch a few of those, that if you don't have a meme picture made of yourself getting held upside down,
I'm going to.
Your human form.
No, that's fantastic.
Your human form holding
maybe
for sewn upside down.
Oh yeah, you know what? What did I put that away? Dang it! I had a mannequin that I bought from Halloween, the Spirit Halloween, and it was always fun to use that for Manic. So I should. Like it's like a foam mannequin I could put him in.
Manic searching for the one brain cell.
Yeah, mannequin and mannequin.
Of course, the other one is a girl that talks behind the camera for Walter Sar V5 Sar Big Fluffy Cat. Sorry, I do a lot of doom scrolling when I'm getting ready for bed, so
No, it's fair. That's fine.
I'm the typical.
I just find it funny because I don't even know these.
Watching cat videos right before bed. Just to.
That's the best way to do it. Admittedly, that's just our brainwashing. We're doing it on purpose.
And I do watch dog videos as well, just to unwind.
That just means we got to turn up the toxoplasmosis meter. We got to push that a little harder.
Ark says, the idiotic genius that figured something out without even realizing. Shh.
Penicillin.
Exactly.
There's one for you. Penicillin. What the hell's growing on my bread? What is this? You left your sandwich in the drawer too long.
Oh, crap. Ark says, dude, I had a life-sized cardboard image of myself at one point. Used to put it in front of my neighbor's kitchen window? You did not!
That's actually ridiculous. That is terrifyingly funny. Oh my god. Admittedly, I did put Manic. Oh, so I put the mannequin in Manic, and it will. Papa, people were looking for me. I put Manic in the mannequin, Manic in the mannequin, and I set it in front of the lodge for Opafa. Now I'm running all over the place. People kept talking to it. People coming up to me later is like, why weren't you responding to me? I'm like,
You-
oh no, it was a mannequin. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, I wasn't there. Oh, and then I have other friends are like, it took me about 10 minutes before I realized you weren't there. And I'm like, what the
Oh
hell do you
my
think? I don't
gosh.
respond to you guys?
Oh my gosh, that is ridiculous. Oh, what? I feel like that's a reference to something else. I'm trying to think of it. Never mind. It's not relevant. Anyways,
No, it's fine.
so I mean, we kind of touched on, your connection with your Sona and your personality. Um, but being a furry walking among society, or Sonic fan if you wish to be identified as such, do you
Sure.
feel
No, I'm a
more
furry.
do you feel more or less alone than before you became what you are? Has it opened up more opportunities towards making friends?
Oh yeah, no question. So whatever I might have experienced in my early life, I had some difficulties when I was younger, and not bad, but just like I had some pain points that put me in a really bad place at times, and the community that I was able to find within this fandom has always been amazingly powerful. As I said, I still have some old friends from high school. They're few and far between. I do see some though, and I'm very grateful to have them. But they're not here often. They're all around the world. And same with the community here. And it's always amazing to find that connection with the local element. But I veered off topic. But no, oh my gosh, where did I go on that one? I'm sorry. It's like where did I just deviate?
It's
Repeat,
okay.
go back to the question until I can follow my train of thought back here.
Well, I mean, like, how has being part of the community affected your life? Like, has it opened up more
Oh,
opportunities
I was
towards
going
making
someplace.
friends?
Yeah. It really has, because it gave me a place to be online when I was younger, especially. And while I didn't start meeting people in the community until like 2007, 2008, and 2009, 10. Like I met a few people here locally, but after I met my first partner for a while, in 2010 and whatnot, I started feeling more open to the community, doing a lot more for it, and around 2013 or so, I started volunteering at different things. Started volunteering for different aspects, and I started getting more involved in the community element because I realized that one of the things that I wanted to see more of in the local scene was a more concerted effort to bring people together and give people an outlet. Because, I mean, the beauty of this community is that it's not bound by a specific demographic, uh, personality, ethnicity, age. You can be what you want to be, and you don't necessarily need it to be anything that conforms to anything. And that freedom to express yourself allows you to become more known of who you are and let other people know you in the whole process. So I love it. It allows people who have lost a lot of people to find their way into a community again. So, for example, I know a number of people who are older, who are in their 60s, and they're still in the community, and it gives them a place to be because it feels welcoming, and they can find joy in that. And I know that it's been instrumental in in the world today. We talk a lot of the community, a lot of the world, I should say, a lot of the news talks about the male loneliness epidemic, and I think in many cases this has been a community that has prevented it for me, and has given me an outlet that has been unbelievably positive. throughout trials and tribulations that may come within. It's unbelievably positive overall for me.
It's the ultimate support group.
It is. And and also there's another particularly, if careful, and the beautiful part about it is it's somewhat self-governing. It takes care of itself in many cases. And like, we try our best in the community here to look out for people and to do our best to make sure that it's a safe environment for people to be in, because even in that situation, especially in that situation when demographic isn't a consideration at all, there's a lot more risk because you don't know who people are. And you can get into bad situations. So you have to try to have a strong community that is looking out for it itself in a lot of ways, because you have people of all types of all walks of life. You have children up to elderly, and you got to look out for people.
Agreed.
Now,
I mean, if you're on the outside looking in and you've never dealt with anything like it before, I mean, it's easy to be judgmental if you don't truly understand the concept.
Yeah. It really is, because I try to explain this to people, and one of the most important facets of it is the creativity associated with the community. You don't have to be a creator to be creative. A person can be creative just with ideas. A person can be creative just with thought. A person can be creative just with whatever they're doing. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. The thing that seems to identify us is the ability for us to be creative and be open to the fact that, actually, I'm going to say a small anecdote. It's funny because I laugh at this, and I think it's actually very appropriate. One of the things I love about the community is very simply this. On the internet, there is a, it's not real, but it's a joke, tongue-in-cheek listing of like what fan bases are considered cooler and which ones are considered at the bottom of the heap. Furry is consistently at the bottom, and I'm actually happy about that. Now I'll explain why. Because you don't have to put on airs, and the more you just go, what of it, the more your coolness just increases. And like, but the interesting part I laugh about, because like, even though you're at the bottom of that heap and everything like this, the best part about it is it keeps people honest. Because if you are, say for example, you are in the proverbial last of the group, it doesn't matter if you rush to the front of the line and become the best, the most like whatever in any given situation, because you're still at the back of the dang line. You're not getting anywhere. But it keeps people honest. I think that's the most important thing, because if you know that like it doesn't matter for you to be cool, then actually you're pretty cool.
Is it taboo? To an extent, yes. But it's a taboo that supports people of all shapes and sizes.
I would actually not argue it's taboo. I would say it's strange. But we do live in a world of characters in everything we see. Every video game that you play has mostly, oftentimes, it's not human characters. Oftentimes we go into our D&D campaigns and go into Lord of the Rings, fantasy novels, sci-fi novels. People have embedded themselves in this. To be furry doesn't have to isolate you to the common zeitgeist of the literature and the media world we live in, but it's the most amazing thing because it is homegrown. but it does reflect society at large who doesn't sometimes want to admit that they would, you know what? Sometimes it would be better to be a freaking cat on an internet. Why wouldn't that be better?
People, some people can think of being a furry an example of abandonment of your humanity, but they
No,
obviously don't
I disagree,
understand
but
it.
that's me. Yeah, I disagree entirely. I think it's one of the most human things you can do is to embrace the elements of yourself that you want to exemplify or embrace the other things in the world that you are trying to understand, because what is being human but learning and using that knowledge to do further and to further our next step in our knowledge. It's we're always searching. We're always searching for connection. We're always searching for answers. So yeah, absolutely.
I mean, granted, not everyone has the same mindset. The general
No,
concept of being a furry is learning more about oneself. But Ark, on the other
exactly.
hoof, he's like, one day we will rule the internet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kind of do. But no, you're right. And I'm never going to say and apply that to everybody, to be fair. Like, some people just treat it as a place for escapism. Some people treat it as a place to do art, and that's fine. The thing that brings it together is overall the idea that it is homegrown creativity and it comes from nothing. It doesn't come from an IP. It doesn't come from a manufactured marketing factor. It's just pure creativity coming from inside the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know of any other fandom that is perfectly independent like that. Most are almost always associated with an IP, or some sort of created product or thing. But this is a concept. It's strange.
Mm-hmm. Also, I apologize. Apparently I took it out of context for what Ark meant.
Oh wait, what? I'm sorry.
No, don't you apologize. It was on me.
Well,
Okay.
obviously, he doesn't mean furries in general. He does mean just wolves.
Oh,
Knowing that.
oh, wolves. Right, I got you. I got you. Now, the furry community
Only
is
wolves.
obviously not a perfect community. We do have our flaws,
Oh my
but
god, yeah.
what fandom doesn't?
No.
I mean, fandoms are made of people, and people have flaws. The fandoms have flaws. It's
Yep.
simple as that.
Ding. Ding, ding. Many dings. Absolutely. When you get more, and also, we tend to be an emotionally open group, which also leads to a lot of difficulties. Now, good or bad, it does.
Sometimes
And that's
open.
not. Yeah, it's not to say that it's a virtue or or some sort of vice. It's to say that it's just we have to accept the fact that it does bring that on, and it's going to have a little bit more of that. That's just what it is.
I mean, whether you're a furry or a non-furry, there are certain temptations that everyone is subject to.
Yeah. Certain behaviors and everything like that too.
I mean, some of us might dress up as a furry cat and then put themselves into a large yellow balloon and hop up a bunch of stairs at a convention.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I can't believe you actually did
Zero idea.
Oh,
Zero idea what you're talking about. Let me zoom out for a second.
I could have fixed that.
There you go. No, oh my god.
Oh
No.
my.
So I did that just to be funny about it. So
I appreciate it.
No worries. I'm happy you bring it up. It's one of the very few times I could
Yeah.
use it very effectively.
Mm-hmm. And for those of you wondering, I later on I will tag Manick's YouTube channel to this stream. That way you can check out some of the videos. I was able to clip a few GIFs in the slideshow, but you haven't seen the full side of Manicknux, playful side, we should
Do I have it
say.
on YouTube? I gotta take a look. Yeah, if you look at me, if you just look up my name, you'll find it. Because I don't think it's mine. I think it's some other people who had videos of it. Look up my name, Manicknux balloon. You'll see it.
Yep. Also known as Lemon Cat.
Or yeah. I still feel bad. So one year, a good friend of mine drew on it with a Sharpie, and it had a beautiful eye on it. But when it inflated and when it was stretching and everything like that, I didn't realize, and none of us realized, that Sharpie then turns to a powder and transfers easy. And unfortunately, a brand new suitor came over and hugged us, and it went off on a suit. They got it cleaned off, but it was so horrible. It felt so bad.
Oh my.
It was very funny though. Like it was like a sumo thing.
Yep.
It looked
I've
like
actually got
they
that.
drew a sumo wrestler on me. Yeah.
Yep. It was your trip to MFF 2018.
That'd be it.
All right, folks, we're wrapping down a little bit here. We do have one more question for our guest.
Sure.
And
Indeed. What is your social security number? Also the number on the back of your credit card, as well as the date and the little 3 digits.
yeah.
Nah, no, I don't think I'm gonna go with that.
No. What it is
Such a shame.
there's always people finding the fandom, finding interest in it, and they come into it, but they're met with like a wall of just so many things at once: art, videos, conventions, music, fursuits. I mean, so much. If you yourself come across somebody just kind of sitting to the side, they might be overwhelmed, they might be trying to process things, but they look at you and they ask you, where is the best place? What is the best way to process the fandom? Where do I start? What is the best way to step into this fandom and learn about it?
That's a really interesting one, honestly. Give me a moment to think about that. That's a very interesting question. I would say, if you live in a space in which you have a city or a community that is large enough that you can find yourself in go to a group setting or something like that is, just say, for example, like if you have a city that has like a community that they have events or whatnot, like here we do in Pittsburgh, try to go to them. And I mean that because try to go to something that is interesting to you. A meet at an arcade, a meet at a bowling alley, a meet at various other places, a dinner meet with a smaller group that comes up, a team meet, which we've had before. So if something interests you, try to find something that interests you and go to that, because you will find people who you will resonate with. And it'll find out who's all going, try to get to know them from the standpoint of just going to the event. Then you can always associate the characters with them, because you'll start matching names and you'll start finding that they're just people like you. And the beautiful part is they're expressing who they are through their character in some way. And you'll start to realize that. And once you get that, you'll start realizing the community and everything you see in it is often just that which exemplifies certain elements of the community itself. It's not actually like a place to... You don't have to do everything. because there's a microcosm. There's multiple microcosms within it, and you can find your place just by going to those events with people that you would that would be interested in something similar to what you would be interested in. But if you're not in an area that is like that, try to do the same on Telegram. And if you can, try to find a community, a con that you can go to at some point to meet up with a number of those friends. In fact, that's what happened to me at AC 2010. I finally found a lot of people that I got to know and I got to be friends with. And if it wasn't for them, I won't know where I would be. So you'll find them. Just try to make your friends, try to find a community online in some area on Telegram or on Discord that you resonate with, and find people that are going to a con that you want to go with. Try to always approach these things and this community with another person, I guess, is my best advice.
Well said, sir. Well said. Ark also says the internet is a beautiful thing, but you need to do your research.
You do. And that's why, like, I hope a lot of communities try to bolster their community efforts at times, because it's very important, and I'm glad a lot of people step up to do it, like we do, and a lot of other communities do too. It takes a lot of effort, and you do your best.
Well, folks, we're about ready to wrap up. Fific, anything else you would like to ask our guest?
Let's see. No, not in particular. But just to correct you on the last answer on the previous question, actually, the best way to discover furry fandom is to look up Omega Republic.
Yes, there you go. Perfect. I like that.
A self-insert. Yes. Right. I mean, he's not wrong, but
No, he's not wrong.
We're just one of many outlets you can check out.
Are there any other?
Well, Manic has his own Discord.
Who?
I do, but I don't use it very often because of I just haven't had a use for it in recent years to use it very heavily, and I need to get back to using it. But I do have a Discord.
Oh, Ark does bring up a point, and which I also know that you have one hell of a singing voice.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No, it's
You know, we do
truly
have
one of my
karaoke
best
playing
gifts.
sometimes.
Shoot. Did not know that, actually, or at least I did. Maybe I did, and I've just forgot it. One of the ways my brain is a cat. I'm an orange cat. Sorry.
I mean, we mostly hold them so people can listen to me sing, but you know, as a participant, it's just refreshing.
I'd love to join.
All right.
But thank you very much for having me, guys. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. And I hope
Of
everybody
course.
else is doing well out there. Thank you for your questions. Sincerely.
Yes. We
Thank you
have-
for being here, and hopefully this stream won't get lost in some processing limbo like the previous one.
Oh, no.
We've
Aw.
doubled up our efforts here, and I'm not doing anything special on the side this time, so that we should be able to hold on to this one, which I really hope we
Good.
do. And Scrapper, if you are listening, I am really hoping we can retry your interview in the future.
Wait, Scrapper Ferret?
Yep.
Well, yes.
Oh, he's a good man. I love him. He lives near here, and he's a good friend of mine.
And it was also such a good shooting up for a live episode. However, YouTube just decided, no, one-time thing. Nobody will ever see it again.
Yep.
On our YouTube channel, it is still marked as processing. After all those weeks,
Oh,
it is
no.
still trying to push itself through.
Yep.
Oh,
And of
I'm
course,
sorry.
YouTube support was no help as per usual.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Of course, I should have taken the chance. I should not have taken the chance and recorded it as well, for just that reason. Because every other
I mean,
video
who
that
would
we've
have
ever
thought?
done worked out fine. But for some reason, the interview that we had with Scrapper, which was a really, really good interview, just decided to say no. So if you weren't there for the live stream,
No.
unfortunately, you
Yeah.
may never see it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Poor Scrapper. For you guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, not to say this one wasn't good. It was good.
It did. It
Good.
was. It was very good.
Thank
But
you,
you know
guys.
what, folks? We would like to extend a huge thank you to Mr. Manicknux for joining us today here on Suiting Up for Life, episode 34. Not to be confused with Rule 34, please. Anyways, and we also like to thank our co-host, Mr. Vivek the Bat, for joining us and aiding us through this.
Thank you so much, all of you.
And we hope to
Thank
see
you for being here.
Indeed. And of course, we would like to thank Ark for being in the peanut gallery and keeping things
Very much.
active.
Very
But-
much. Thank you for all the questions, Ark.
Mm-hmm. Once again, folks, we'd like to thank you once again for joining us here on Suiting Up for Life, here on the Omega Republic, and we'll see you here next time.
See you next time.